everything's remote right now. Our thought process is to be familiar with the technology as you go into a remote deposition, to make sure you understand the platform you're using. My name is Daryl Derryberry. My firm is Derryberry Zips Wade, and we are located in Tyler, Texas and Dallas, Texas. We have an emphasis on catastrophic injury and death cases, and we handle a lot of commercial motor vehicle cases with an emphasis on 18-wheeler crashes. I became involved in this case early on. I had the opportunity, which I don't get to do much, but meet with the clients within about 10 days of the crash happening. And an 18-wheeler who was speeding in a construction zone with his cruise control on, rear-ended vehicle. The 3 children were in the back. And all of the children, well, all the occupants, all of our clients were injured, but this little girl was injured the most severely. We had, I think, 8 experts, common experts on liability issues. We also had an economist to discount numbers back to present value. And we also had a life care planner. We had her treating physician who did the surgery on her face. She had to have plates and screws placed in her skull and her cheek. And we also had a board-certified neuropsychologist who performed neuropsych testing on this little girl, came to conclusions, obviously, that she had a significant brain injury and was going to be affected for the remainder of her life. We ultimately selected DK Global after investigating and doing research on several companies like DK, and we're glad we did. So we wanted to put a whole picture. We actually did an animation of her injury profile, dealing with all of her injuries, including her orthopedic, her neurological, rods placed into her left femur. As I mentioned, she basically had her face peeled back and had screws and plates put in her head and her cheek. And so we wanted to give the jury a real good picture of what all of those injuries looked like. And so DK Global worked with the treating maxillofacial expert, and he had relocated to Oklahoma City from Dallas. And so he actually worked with them, looking at the MRIs and making changes to the drafts. And then from a standpoint, we have our life care planner also had a neurologist that was board certified and dealt with DK Global on that as well, because the experts really were the ones who were going to have to prove up the animation once we got to trial. And those experts were willing to work with DK Global to make sure everything was admissible once we got to trial. One of the most rewarding cases that my firm's ever had, this little girl, we mediated the case approximately 60 days before trial, and we reached a confidential 8-figure plus settlement with a trucking company and its driver. The reason we contacted DK Global, we had significant traumatic brain injury, and it really worked out well and aided us. We used that as part of our damage demand that we made on the carrier, and it was also part of our mediation presentation. And so it was, we thought, a very valuable tool and resource.